And for those of you who just joined and are just joining our call, we have Mr. Mike Boggs this evening. Mr. Mike Boggs is one of the Core 5 owners. And, you know, we always like to give a special shout out and thanks to those folks. Their time is I won't say it's any more valuable than the rest of ours. Okay. So I'm not gonna do that. But what I will say is their time is very limited, and for them to come out and be able to do these things for us is huge. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've ever been with any type of a company ever in your life, let me stress the importance. Let me stress the beauty of the fact that we have the Core 5, and that the Core 5 give us of their time, their expertise, their talents, and their heart. They join us every single time that they possibly can. So we will always want to make sure that we give them a standing ovation every chance we get. And Mike, I know that you have control of the screen at the moment, and we're looking at a wind farm here, which kind of tells me you're going to talk some about green this evening. And I was wondering if you would do me a favor and give everyone on this call and everyone that grabs the replay just your version of the GreenX presentation, please, sir.
Sure. I suppose I could do that for you, Mr. Hanks and Krypto Joe. I mean,
thank you.
I think I might be able to manage that. So,
all right.
So I'm going to do this pretty quick in an effort to manage. I know we have questions coming after this PowerPoint. And just so everybody knows, the PowerPoint that you're seeing is one that is compliantly approved. Everyone should be able to access it. It is on the blog. You know, Brandon has it, Chris has it, Joe probably has it somewhere underneath the bar in his office. Somewhere. Yeah, or his desk, or he might even be sitting on it. I don't even know.
I probably am. Yep.
Yeah. So, or actually, I think you might have stuck it on the hard hat I saw you wearing.
I think so.
On your way to.
I taped it on the inside of it.
Right. You're going to like Kroger's or something. I just know it, and you're lying. Just shopping.
Gotta love those hard hats.
That's right. Well, so for those of us who are new, a majority from all the names that I'm seeing know who I am. But my name is Mike Boggs. I am the Chief Legal Compliance Officer here at GreenX, and wanted to personally thank each and every one of you for taking the time out of your busy schedules this evening, whether it's your evening, your late afternoon, or your early morning. From those of you that I actually can tell that you are across the ponds. So thank you very much for being here. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, Mr. Hanks, if that's okay with you. Joe, never mind. Yeah. So, here to talk to you about green. So something remarkable is about to happen, and it's happening here with GreenX and Green. Now, we all know about the industries are being disrupted, and that's either entertainment, transportation, or accommodation. And the whole reason that we are here is because of the new technology with the blockchain. But just remember that YouTube, the world's largest media provider, owns no media. The world's largest taxi company owns no taxis. And the world's largest hotel provider owns no hotels. And that's YouTube, Uber, and Airbnb. Every single one of these companies own nothing. One of the famous quotes that I absolutely love is own nothing and control everything. You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. And in regards to how we can easily and help you understand what Green is doing with the proof of stake or proof of power, whatever you want to call it. And there's a long time ago when Joe was about 10, they had these things called fax machines. And those things used to be able to put a piece of paper in these things. And you could send them through the phone line, and then you could send it from, you know, wherever Joe's at, and then send it to California, and the same piece of paper would show up on the other end with the zeros and the ones, and it actually come out into the correct piece of paper. Actually, nowadays, they actually come out in color. So back in the day when Joe was 11, they were still black and white. But
that's true.
Same thing with making a cellular phone call. Your voice is nothing more than digital code. And yes, everybody, so I'll say it for Chris and I'll say it for Joe. I am a nerd. I am a geek. I am a programmer. I'm certified in 17 different programming languages, and I can read another 10. So yes, when you're talking to mom, or you're talking to dad, or your best friend, or you're, for whatever reason, you decided to call Joe, your voice is nothing more than a numerical digits going through cell phone towers and getting interpreted and unencrypted on the NMI on the receiving phone, and it becomes your voice again. No difference than what's about to happen with GreenX. So what's the next big disruption going to be? Power. 100-year-old technology that needs a massive upgrade, trapped in a wired grid, and it's very expensive to distribute. It's time to think outside the grid and go green. Now, centralized versus decentralization. Now, as you can see over here, the little power company and their coal stacks, or, you know, whatever, and nuclear or whatever, that is providing power to each one of us commercially and residentially. And they do that. That's controlled sourcing. Okay, that means we have no choice but to accept the power consumption from the power company or a cooperative or whatever you want to call it. And we really don't want to go political on this, so I'll keep it clean. Versus decentralization. And that means Joe's house right here in the middle, and on the left is, actually, I don't think that's Chris' house. I think the one down here right there, that looks more like Chris's house, kind of got the flowers in the front.
Yeah.
So with green or decentralization, Joe could send power or the valuation of power through the proof of power to Chris's house, and then Chris could be like, well, I need a little bit of that. I'm going to send it up here to Jeremy's house. That looks like Jeremy's house. And he could share it with everybody else without the power company. So utilizing the blockchain and utilize decentralization, we can basically provide the valuation of power through decentralization and actually have a proof of stake to back it up. So how does it work? The solar panels create a direct current, and your power companies typically create an alternating current. Now, through the solar panel and, of course, through the power company, we can take that all into AC and put it in the pretty little green box here with a little bit of black around it and a little electric. Okay, that power absorbed through the green box will become a block current, which, by the way, that proof of power is patented here with Green United and GreenX, which is then interpreted to your green wallet, which creates the coin. Now, please understand that you don't have to use green or the green wallet or the green coins to pay just your power bill. We'll get to that. And now remember Joe's fax machine, and we remember Chris's cell phone here. It's the same concept. The in the middle is the digital code being produced on the receiving end of the decentralization factor. GreenX is nothing more than taking power from renewable sources and direct sources to the green box, computing it in the cloud, and creating the valuation of power with the green wallet coins, and then distributing that value of power and powering the blockchain. Now, on the left-hand side, you see a part of what's going to become phase 2 in the commercial applications, and this is not, just so everybody knows, not the final version. In the middle here, you actually see one of the test setups that are actually up and running right now, full-blown. And you know, we do have black boxes, we have white ones, and this is the white one version of it, of the green box of your mining rig. Now, Green will be and is the first company to take electricity and invert it into digital electricity. And always remember the industry disruptors. Facebook in 2004, Airbnb in 2008, and we all wish we were back here in 2009. By the way, just so everybody knows, I was 28 then, just so everybody knows. And March 2009, still 28. Uber was
just a baby.
That'd be enough of that. Thank you. And then, of course, on this year in May, which just happens to be my birthday month, I am a Taurus, just so everybody knows. You know, the world's first power company that produces no power. Now, who wouldn't trade $50 of electricity for a $100 bill? I know I would. I know Joe would. In fact, he's probably getting in his car right now and he's leaving the call. So what else can you do with green? You can make your house payment. You can go out to dinner. You can go to vacation at Disneyland. Now, if it's just me and maybe Joe and probably Chris and Jeremy and a couple of other people, we're probably not going to Disneyland. We're probably going to like New Orleans or Vegas. A couple side trips, you know, in Albuquerque, you know, stop by Acme, you know, pick up a few things that the coyote left behind. But, you know, but what happens when there are no more power bills to pay? And our mission together with GreenX and Green United is to help people save money to help people share this technology. It's not even just technology, it's patented technology. And we also want to, together with Green, give back to the world to help the second and third world generations outside of the United States grow and develop for the better of massive good, which is what this statement said is. And we can use this new technology, patented technology, to spread massive good throughout the world. And together we can bring hope to the hopeless and power to the powerless. And absolutely, the power is in your hands. So what will you do? And I'm going to go ahead and answer that for everybody. Why are you still on this damn call and not getting off of it into your back office and getting yourself one or however many GreenX machines that you are very comfortable with and buying? So,
I was thinking the same thing, and I'm going to see y'all later.
See you. Bye, Joe.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate your help, buddy.
No problem, buddy. I got to go get one of these. Sorry.
Yep. So I hope that clears up a lot of the quote-unquote questions. Mike, if you want, you can leave the green, since we're going to be talking all about green and answering questions.
I
can leave that up if you want.
Okay, or I can put it back up. Whatever.
Now,
thank you.
We have had some really great response, Mike. I just want to, I haven't had a chance to talk with you and the rest of the Core 5 about how great people are sending in questions and stuff. And we have quite a few this evening. So I'm not going to talk a great deal and spout off. What I'm actually going to do is jump right into these questions. But first, I want to thank you for that great presentation. I know that I've seen that a couple times with you. And it really does clarify things greatly. Thank you.
I know, especially Joe's fax machine. That really helps.
It does. It
I'm
really,
just trying
really
to figure out which color is green.
So
that's the one that says start.
Yeah,
that's not green,
or
that's
send.
White, guys.
That's the start button, Joe. Just,
The start button? Oh, on the fax machine. Okay. Yeah.
So we're going to start off. Joe, I'm going to take question number 1, and I know you have a copy of those questions on your side. So I'm going to take question 1, if you'll take 2, and we'll just go from there.
Okay.
So listen, Mike, one of the first questions that came in for this week's questions and answers is, if you ordered a GreenX miner by the end of June, are they part of the miners that have been running since July 4th?
That is correct.
I wanted to ask that question, not because I don't think it's been answered before, but mainly because I know that a lot of people grab these on replay, and there's a lot of people out there that might not have that answer. So thank you, sir.
Right.
Yep, not a problem. And that is 100%. And that is 100% correct. Any mining rig that was purchased prior to the end of July or end of June, I'm sorry, is absolutely up and running and utilizing to power the sidechain network with Green. Absolutely.
Cool. Thank you, sir.
On the question that I have here, number 2, Mike, it's just asking if you can explain the second phase of GreenX, which you just did with the presentation. And that's a proof of power, though, correct?
It's proof of power. The phase 2 of the Green is a little bit more complicated. It's actually going through beta testing right now successfully.
Okay.
And basically, the next phase of Green will be residential and commercial applications, which will basically finalize the ERC20 with the proof of stake, and that is the valuation of power that you produce on your residence and or commercial. And we are actually going to be working very aggressively here with Green. And once they get done and everything's kind of in a finalized place of prices, and we're actually going to be incorporating and moving forward and offering those services to our members so that they can distribute and work within their neighborhood, both commercially and residentially.
Okay.
Okay.
That's great. I'm going to kind of throw another question in there, Chris, because I've got another question that goes right with that since you brought up ERC20.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of a two-parter. How they're wanting to know, how do you actually make the coin, or how do you make the money, okay, from the box? Real simple, like.
Yeah. So phase 1 or phase 2?
Phase 2. On phase 2 still.
So probably the easiest way to explain it is if you have solar panels or you've done any type of communication with someone that has solar panels, basically it's usually connected direct into your meter box.
Mm-hmm.
And the power company creates a utilization factor of how much power you're actually producing and will credit your account. Same thing with this.
Right.
So let's say green is valued. Let's just use easy numbers. Please understand that this is a disclaimer, and just so everybody knows and is going to be sharing this, I am the Chief Legal Compliance Officer, and I am using this as reference only. Now, let's say the GreenX coin is valued at $1, and you produced $73 worth of valued power through your solar panels to help power the blockchain.
Right.
The valuation of coins for the reward would be 73 coins. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. So the box will actually be a part of the blockchain.
That's correct. All miners are.
It's a node, basically. Is that correct? Okay, fantastic. I think that sums a whole lot of questions up for people. I'll get back to the ERC-20 thing because I know Chris wants to ask you something right now.
That's okay. So we had another question, and I'm not sure you're going to be able to answer this one, Mike, but I'm going to throw it out there. And because you're Chief Compliance Officer, I know you'll give us the best answer. So if we have coins that are in our GreenX wallet that we mined once everything is rolling and set up properly, will we be able to use those coins to buy more GreenX rigs?
You will, well, essentially yes and no.
Okay.
The reason for that is when you make the decision, if the coins are on the exchange, they're obviously going to have a value, which at that point you'll be able to convert your coins into Bitcoin. So yes, to that aspect. But since we are in this phase right this second, and they are not on the exchange, I'm going to repeat that, they are not on the exchange, you will still have to utilize Bitcoin to purchase another rig.
Understood. Thank you.
Yep.
That clarifies that nicely. Joe, did you want to ask that ERC-20 question, or you want to go to the next one?
I'm going to go ahead and hit that ERC-21 since we're right here talking about that stuff.
Yep.
Okay. This is kind of a two-parter in a way. Okay, should we move our GreenX coins once we start earning them? You know, once they start running and we're able to get them on exchange, we're able to get them. Should we move those to an ERC-20 wallet, or should we keep them in the GreenX wallet?
I'm always a big advocate of trying not to move stuff as much as possible.
Okay.
In the ERC, people call them tokens, people call them coins. It's really whatever, but the ERC is nothing more than a set of rules which have to be defined and made a part of. Exactly. So I still believe in non-maneuverability. I think that in the essence to minimize security risks, that you don't move stuff around, because always remember it is a public ledger, and in the movement, if someone catches your wallet ID, regardless if it's on the Bitcoin network or on the Ethereum network, you open yourself up for risk. Now, obviously, we do know as we go along here, you're going to be able to pull down the coins into a more secure area. But again, we will advise that. I can almost assure you, Mr. Harris is going to disclose another video in our series that we have, and to show you basically how to properly secure a multitude, just because of the sheer amount of coins that these things are going to be producing. We are actually going to move forward in producing a security video, especially when everything becomes very visual, that you guys can see your machines, the portals open and all that good stuff. And, quite frankly, I really wouldn't feel comfortable without disclosing and helping our clients here at CryptoGenix how to make sure that their wallet is properly secured. So I would say yes and no to that example.
Okay.
And if they're going to do it, or they feel like they have to do it, I would make sure that they have at least watched the frickin' security video to make sure that we didn't say, well, we told you so. So, yeah.
So to sum that up, it is possible to do it. It's possible to transfer them to another wallet, but you wouldn't necessarily advise transferring stuff back and forth a lot just because it's going through thin air so it can get grabbed.
Well, again, you're going to have to, if you're going to be maneuvering these coins in and off of the exchange, and you're putting up sale orders, you're putting up buy orders, it's the same process. The more maneuverability you have, the more exposure that you have.
Exactly. Okay. And on the GreenX wallet, it's going to be specifically for the GreenX coin. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Very good. That got all the answers to that question. Go ahead, Chris.
Fantastic.
Thanks, Mike.
Right along.
No problem, Joe.
Moving right along, Mike, we have another question that you may or may not be able to shed some light on, and that is that the question is, I know that we have been saying 30 to 120 days to get the miner set. What has been the average time from order to Utah? Do we know, and can you discuss that?
I can disclose that it is running pretty darn good. It is below 120 days right now.
Okay.
Mainly because if I say something,
Mhm.
Joe's going to send me a fax. And
Yeah, I'm going to send you that fax and be like, dude.
Yeah, and be like, you said on this time at this date. It may take me 20 minutes to get that, but I will know about it. But yeah, it's definitely they're performing much better than even they expected as far as receiving rigs, and we're pleasantly pleased with that.
That's
Dude, Mike,
fantastic.
I can't send you a fax, buddy. My puppy chewed up my phone cord and my dial-up.
It
So,
seems that you would be the
rotary
same
phone.
person that the dog ate my homework. Okay.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Okay.
Now, since we're in the spirit of disclosure, I'm pretty sure we cannot answer this one, but I'm going to ask it anyway, because you know what, Mike, what I love about this company and what I love about Core 5 is the transparency. And, you know, we told people, send your questions in, we'll get you the best answers we can. And we're doing that. We also advise them that some questions may not be able to be answered. So in the spirit of asking the question, one of this person's prospects ask what the symbol of GreenX would be when it goes on the exchange.
And what exchange will it be on?
Mm-hmm.
You know that.
Are you just full of questions, aren't you, Joe?
Sorry. That's the question.
Yeah.
I'm just reading.
So first and foremost, as of right this second, we are not allowed to disclose the symbol and the lettering or the I'm just going to use numbers and letters just for that reason, mainly because of due process and getting on the exchange, which leads us right into the next question that Joe forgot the facts, and that is there is a lot of there's three main ones, and some of them I will do and disclose on private calls, but on a public call like this, I won't do that. But just so you know, there are three top 10 exchanges that we are very, very aware of, and us being very close to Green, specifically Dave Smith. We are watching for the progress and finalization of, which I'm sure almost certain is going to be another question that you're going to ask, and what's the ETA of the coin getting onto the exchange. So I'll just go ahead and answer that because I know it's coming.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. So just everybody know they're working very aggressively on three exchanges. They are in the top 10. They're very well known. They do enough volume to push coin price both up and down.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we are looking at a threshold of having enough coin cumulatively, because everybody has to understand that. I'll give you a perfect example is like Cia coin, which has billions of coins out there circulating right now. They didn't just snap their fingers and say, guess what? We're going on the exchange. They had to create the coin. They had to mine the coin and get enough coins that would be enough in circulation to fulfill buy orders and sell orders.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exactly what's happening right this second. Is they're basically we together with Green are powering up the sidechain network and creating enough coins utility, because you always got to understand, yes, we are mining the coins with them, but those are going into your wallet, not the company's wallet. So the company itself has to create enough coins to create a threshold of right around 32% of the initial capacity of the software, which everybody knows is 12.5 billion. So we are looking at about a couple 2.5 months away. I'm not going to say in a specific date, but I can assure you that we have enough information that we know what they're going to set the price at. And if you have been paying attention to these calls, you should know what that number is. You should also know that the capability of these regs producing a significant amount of coins in the 7-figure range. We're not going to disclose the amount on a public call, but it is quite substantial. And if anyone, Joe, can't do math and do the math in their head, then you should not be buying rigs.
Be still my heart. Still my
heart. So I mean, I mean, you might want to give your hard hat to Steph because she does need one.
All right.
You know, she's always looking for a helmet because I think she might bop you with it. So
Absolutely. Hey, Mike, you know, I want to take this time to interject real quick because you were talking about the top 10, right? The top 10 exchanges, the top 10 exchanges. And, you know, you've been on calls that I do with my team. And so I'm going to publicly go out on a limb here with Mr. Mike Boggs on the call. And I'm going to recommend that anybody listening to this call or anybody on this call that doesn't have the top 10 exchanges, you go ahead and apply for those and get those ahead of time. You don't want to wait for those, or you don't want to wait to try to get on an exchange when Bitcoin is at $20,000. Okay. It's just not a good idea.
Oh yeah.
You know, and
forever.
it's, you know, Mike, it was crazy when that happened, wasn't it? I mean, people will wait.
I'm almost certain that you, Jeremy, and myself were all pushing the refresh button last year, hoping and praying to God. And I'm not kidding, guys. Like, we were like, okay, you push refresh, I push refresh, because they monitor where the IPs are coming from, and they can actually differentiate where they bring people in.
Yes.
And so it was incredibly, like, to get a Binance account last year. Oh my goodness, you would have thought we were asking for some alligator teeth, some fax machine, and all this stuff, and it was just horrible. It was. And it was still bad even at the beginning of this year. It's not so bad now. They basically do a cut on, specifically the top 3. So if you are smart and willing to take some hint, get yourself on CoinMarketCap, go to the exchange volume, look at the top 10, and if you really want to, let's get yourself diversified. That's the whole reason why we have CryptoGenix. Is get yourself a couple more, get familiar with each platform, because from one exchange to the next is not like going from one Walmart in Pennsylvania to the next Walmart in North Carolina. It is not the same. The wallets are different. The Exodus wallet is completely different than the Binance wallet. And I can assure you, I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt and the boxer shorts and the shorts and the socks and the shoes, because I was usually a multiple 3-syllable word, you know, W2F, and very loud non-chanting forms with 4-letter digit words that
absolutely. You know, and that's a really good point, because when everybody is frantic and when everybody needs to move fast, that is not the time to learn these exchanges, y'all. Okay, so, you know, word to the wise, that was a gold nugget. So Mike, I have one other question, and before I ask this question, I just want to thank everybody. We're getting close to the 9:30 hour, so this will probably be our last question for the evening. If you put a question in the comments or something and we didn't get them, please go to askkgx@gmail.com and resubmit your question for next week's call. Okay, so here we go, Mike. Once we've talked several times about these machines, and in the beginning we were talking projections of what the power could possibly run to run these machines, especially in Utah. And the question is, do you know at what point how we will be paying the power bill on these rigs? Will we be getting a BTC bill, or will we be able to pay those in GreenX coins?
Both. So you'll be able to, so let's answer, it's a multifaceted question, so let's do this. And I actually saw that one question there in regards to you know, in regards to the wallets. So let me answer that, and I'll just do it because I don't mind helping people. So each rig, or the multitude of rigs that you own, are connected to one wallet. If you have one rig, you have one wallet. If you have 10 rigs, you have one wallet. Okay. All right. So the average cost of power with Green is right around 20-25 cents average per terahash. So typically, depending on the cost of renewable power that they're utilizing themselves and the actual power they're getting from, you know, the DC, it's going to be about $2.40 per rig, per day, per month. So you're looking at about $80 to $90 a month on a worst case scenario, on a best case scenario, because power contracts do change I would say the low end of that would be in the 70 realm, give or take. So it's power costs will probably go up and down. The more they can utilize of their own renewable energy source, it will go down. And the more they have to consume from the actual freaking grid, it'll go up a little bit. But their goal is to keep it right in that range. You know, $2.20, $2.40, sometimes $2.60 per terahash. I'm sorry, per machine per day. So if you do the math on that, you are right around the 70 to 80, sometimes 90, close to 90, a month for each rig. And then issuing as far as the questions as can you use the green coin or BTC? It's both. Just know that the utilization of basically everything's going to be in the palm of your hand. You're going to have an app. Your wallet's going to be an app. It's going to use and lock you in with your phone. Similar to what BitPay does, or even the Swift card does. It locks you on your phone. It backs you up. So I'm a programmer and I'm pretty impressed. They've done a really good job.
Amazing, brother.
Yeah, they've done a pretty good job. So,
hey, can I jump in here real fast and ask something?
No,
absolutely.
Okay. How much? Can you tell us how much a month that you might think the green box is going to cost? What's it going to run? I mean, I know it's going to be offset, but
I don't understand the question.
The actual green, the boxes that'll be at our houses, not the mining rig.
Oh yeah, I can't. Nope, not yet.
You don't know that. Okay.
Yep. Nope, not yet.
Okay. I think I see someone's here struggling with the concept still. Basically, and I think what they're talking about is the GreenX box. I'm trying to break that down real simple, but I'm just having a hard time finding the words, guys. I'm sorry. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the interest of keeping our word to staying as close to 30 minutes as we possibly can, I want to thank everybody again. Mr. Mike Boggs, I would really like to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. I look forward to talking with you again. I'm not going to say that you will or will not be here next Wednesday. I will say that you're more than welcome to be here next Wednesday. And for you guys that sent in your questions, if we got them asked and answered, bravo. If it didn't get asked this week, know that it will go on next week's. I promise. Okay. So everybody, thank you so much. Joe, close us out, brother.
Okay, I'm going to close this out with have a great day. Oh, man, I wanted to ask a question. Sorry. Everybody, enjoy yourselves. Thanks for tuning in. I hope we answered a lot of your questions. If there's anything else, send it to one of us, and we can get you the answer off of here. So thank you all very much, and have a great evening, morning, afternoon, whatever time it is. Bye.
Thanks,
God bless everyone.
But thanks, Mike. Thanks,
Anytime.
God bless KGX.
Thanks, guys. God bless. Bye-bye.